Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Gada Baskara and I'm here as the leader of Group 1, which consists of 5 members. It's Rozan, Hanifah, Trisha, Maima, and myself. We're here to present about hobbies.
We will start with the definition of hobby. Hobby is an activity of someone that has some interest feeling to it, or activities that is usually carried out on the basis of a very strong attraction within a person. And usually, when someone have already attracted to that hobbies, they will try to spend every their time and also their money to buy something related to that hobbies with great pleasure. People often doing their hobbies at their free time. Why do we have a hobby? The human tendency to like something is based on various factors. The factors that have a considerable influence on the formation of person's hobbies are the environment, friends, and also the social group where a person lives and grows. As a result of these factors, new habits will be formed, both consciously and unconsciously, which will become their new hobby. In a research by French psychologists Serge Moscovici and Marisa Zavaloni, a person will show their attitude towards something tougher if they find that other people are also showing the same attitude. So that if he gets the enforcement from others, he can be more sure of what he thought beforehand.
So next, I will explain about the advantages of the hobby. The first is make you know where you really strength at. It means that hobbies can make someone know themselves and can make someone know how they should be. So people can develop their strength and their talents and do it for the good environment. Next is training your focus. According to research by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, a Hungarian-American clinical psychiatrist, that people who have hobbies are more organized in their life. They know what to do when they're tired or feel they need a break. After taking a break from doing their daily activities and continue doing their hobby, their mental condition and brain performance are back to normal condition. Next is time effectiveness. Overwhelmed work, love and play when no one has the time is a book who wrote by Brigitte Schultz. In this book, he wrote that the sadness of today's people who often thinking that they are always busy and losing their time. According to these Washington Post contributors, if someone has an activity that they interest to do, there won't be any of busy feelings in their mind because they're doing that with pride of themselves. Next is improving physical and mental health. According to research of Dr. Christopher D. Stanton of renowned medical group Nevada, people who routinely practice their hobbies have better hormonal and immune system. Hobbies are positive activities that relax the brain when we do it. The relaxed central nervous condition improves the performance of the endocrine glands. These glands regulate the function of hormones throughout the body. Next is makes the brain more creative. Taking on a hobby also makes us more creative, motivated to develop skills, and explore further things we are interested in. Next is gaining more friendship. Usually, a hobbies have their own community. Through a hobby, you can meet many new people, meet those who have the same hobbies as you, and you can making a friends from it. Next is increase spirit, and the last is adding a sources of income.
What do Germans do in their free time? Mostly, they watch TV, listen to the radio, and surf the internet. A new study says they're also spending less and less time to reading books and hanging out with friends and family. Germans spend most of their own time watching television, even if they might rather be doing something else. According to a study published Wednesday, rounding out Germans' top 5 pastime were listening to the radio, listening to music, talking on the phone, at home, and surfing the internet. And this is a table percentage of how Germany spend their leisure times. As you can see, watching TV is at the top of the chart, and second to that is listening to the radio, listening to music, phone calls from home, surfing on the internet, cell phone calls, thinking, spending their time with a partner, discussing important issues, and sleeping in.
I asked some questions about hobby to my friend to represent this group. He's from Germany. The first question, what is the average hobby of Germans? He said that he thinks there's no average hobby in Germany, and I kinda think the same way like him, because I think hobby is a relative thing, so it's quite difficult to know the exact answer without doing a massive survey. Next, do you think seasons could affect hobbies? He said, yeah, of course. Things like outside sports move into halls when it's winter and stuff like that. So someone's hobby might be changed in some seasons, or they will do it in different way. Next, is there any hobbies trend in Germany? He said he thinks there's no trend in Germany. Maybe soccer, but he's not sure. And the reason why I asked him this question, because I'm curious. We know that cycling is a trend in here lately, and it seems like cycling is everybody's hobby right now, but not really. Next, does someone's age affect their hobby? He said definitely. Younger people do more sports than older people, or play more video games and stuff like that. And the last question, do you think there's any other things that could affect someone's hobby, especially in Germany? And he said maybe the way you live, where you live, and definitely if you got enough money or not, because some hobbies cost them. And I also asked the first question to White Papuans. They are YouTubers from Germany, but they used to live in Papua, Indonesia. And they said that maybe soccer, reading books, traveling, and walking around the city with their pets are the average hobby in Germany. So that's all we got from them.
So, according to the statistic that was explained before, the most popular activities that can be done during free time in German is television has dominated German free time pursuit since 1986, when the first leisure survey was published. But, while it has remained the undisputed champion, other activities are gaining ground. Over the past 20 years, surfing the internet and listening to the music have overtaken other once popular pastimes, such as reading newspaper and books, spending time with the family, working in the garden, and meeting up with the friends. Other than that, German people love to listen to the radio. Radio broadcasts were first played officially in German in 1923. Nearly 100 years, these radio broadcasts are still popular with Germans. Why do Germans choose to listen to the radio as their hobby? Including, first, news messages are conveyed more effectively. Through radio, messages are more effectively recorded in the memory. News conveyed via radio is news that is renewable, concise, and solid. And the radio can also be heard anytime and anywhere. Second, radio is an audio medium with subjective visualization. Radio is an audio medium that inspires us to create visualization. If we get a message from the radio, we start to create a visual imagination in our mind. This is Trisha, then we see it in the viewing program. And the last, radio seems more familiar than other entertainment media. Radio programs do not only contain song and news. There are quizzes, interactive dialogues, religious pulpits, and so on. This builds a lively intimacy, even though they don't see each other, but the relationship between the announcer and the listener does give a warm and familiar impression.
The next one is unpopular. Gambling was at the bottom of the list of activities filling Germans' free time. 89% of the survey's respondents said it was something they never did. Creative pursuits were also deeply unpopular, with 78% saying they never made music, wrote poetry, or painted.
So, this is the percentage of how much Indonesians watching television in 2009, 2012, and 2015. As you can see, in 2012, it has more viewers than any other years, and the boys are dominant than girls. And this is the percentage of how much people were listening to a radio in many places. People who live in the city have more bigger percentage than any other place. I'm surprised that people in a city still wanna listen to radio. Thought they were gonna prefer watching television to radio. Similarities with German, but often have a high percentage of their pension for watching television because it is easy to do and doesn't need to pay a lot of money. The difference with the German, the percentage of people who listen to radio broadcasts in Germany in the past week tended to be stable, or even increased, because they could listen to music, news, or information while doing their activities. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, from 2009 until 2015, it decreased, because they were not used to doing activities simultaneously. They preferred activities such as surfing the internet.
So that's all from our group. The conclusion is, according to the data, Germany people have more activity on their days, which is like watching TV. But it's not really accurate because everyone has their own activity and things to do. If you have a question, please let us know. Thank you and see you later from Group 1.